Welcome to the Win Solutions Podcast, your trusted partner in warehouse management. Each episode, we explore cutting-edge strategies, industry best practices, and real-world success stories to help you streamline operations, optimize resources, and stay ahead in today's fast-paced logistics landscape. Our insights are designed to empower you to understand every decision's impact in your warehouse. Let's dive into this week's episode.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take your key sources, the research, the notes, the hard-won experience, and we really distill them into powerful strategic insights. Today, we're diving into a decision that's, well, it's much bigger than just buying some tech. It's about selecting a long-term warehouse management system partner, a WMS partner.
Exactly. And this deep dive is really for you, the listener, because when you choose a WMS, you're basically setting the operational groundwork for, the next 10 years? Maybe more? Our sources today, they look at this incredibly long relationship, 20 years between Win Solutions and Infor.
Right.
You want to pull out the wisdom from that.
Right. That's the core thing, isn't it? It's not just what does the software do right now. It's choosing, a strategic ally, someone who gets your challenges, who can scale with you when things inevitably change.
Precisely. And if we're talking operational efficiency, sustainable growth, so what factor is massive? The strength, the depth of that partnership, that's what really decides if you scale smoothly or end up wrestling with constant friction integration problems. Headaches, basically.
Yeah. Okay, let's unpack this longevity. Because 20 years in technology, that's like 3 lifetimes almost. We see partnerships fizzle out after, 3-5 years, leading to these really expensive, painful migrations. What's the anchor here?
Well, what's really fascinating digging into the sources is that the roots go deeper than just the official start date of the Win Solutions Infor deal. Alex Gardner, he's head of services, shared this great historical bit. A key person, James, was actually involved with Infor and the company Infor acquired way back, like late 90s, early 2000s. So he was deep in the product development world before Win Solutions was even formed.
Ah, okay. So it's not just a contract signed 20 years ago. It's almost like embedded history. Part of the software's DNA in a way.
It creates this incredibly powerful dynamic, this deep root. It actually influences the product roadmap. The sources really stress this. Win Solutions isn't just implementing the tech off the shelf. There are decades of actual on-the-ground warehouse floor experience that's directly helped guide Infor's development.
And continues to. Okay, but let me push back slightly there. 20 years. That sounds like potential vendor lock-in, right? Stability is good. But how do you, the listener, know this deep connection fuels real innovation, not just comfort? Does that mean Win Solutions has people sitting on the Infor dev team? Or is it more like structured feedback?
That's a fair point. The lock-in risk is countered, I think, by the ability to genuinely shape the tool. It's described more as a co-development dialogue. Because Win Solutions is seeing the real pain points daily. Their feedback isn't just, a quarterly survey. It's this constant stream about what's needed now. And that naturally pushes the roadmap away from just theoretical bells and whistles towards solving actual complex industry-specific problems.
Right. And if you're running logistics today, your challenges are specific. They're tied to your model. Maybe it's the crazy juggling of 3PL, multi-client stuff, or the sheer speed needed in fast fashion, or, the tight controls for consumer goods.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this focus on the real world, that's what Alex Gardner highlighted as the crucial difference. The solutions are tailored to the industry, yes, but also, and this is key, designed to be fit for end users. Meaning, they're built for the people actually on the warehouse floor, using the system minute by minute.
But designing for the floor, doesn't that sometimes mean you sacrifice the high-level stuff, the features the finance team needs, or execs wanting forecasting data? How do they square that circle?
That's where the partnership, that foundation, helps maintain balance. The field insights ensure the system isn't just fit for programmers or people upstairs, as Alex put it. Practicality first. But the capabilities are still really comprehensive. So usability for the operator doesn't mean limited reporting upstairs. In fact, a smoother workflow on the floor. That usually generates cleaner data for the boardroom anyway.
Okay. And the sources really emphasize that Infor's WMS stands out because it's so comprehensive. It's broad. It's not a system where you constantly hit walls because it can't handle your operational complexity.
Exactly. That versatility, handling requirements across the board, is vital. Our sources point out this depth lets companies avoid that awful process of cobbling together multiple different systems. That's just a fast track to technical debt and integration messes.
Right. Let's dig into those capabilities then, because this is where it gets tangible for someone listening. What specific things stand out?
Okay, a great example is the inbuilt billing, specifically for 3PL customers. For so many 3PLs, managing client billing means linking their WMS to some separate finance app, often custom built. It's a headache. Having that complexity handled right in the WMS, that eliminates a huge integration pain point straight away.
Makes sense. That directly targets a specific 3PL financial challenge. What about inventory control? That gets really detailed.
Yeah, inventory control is definitely a strength highlighted. The system handles serialized tracking, tracking every single item individually, plus batch and lot control. Absolutely essential if you're dealing with expiry dates, like in food or pharma. Perishables need that precise management to avoid waste.
And connecting the WMS, the digital side, to the physical automation, that's where everything's heading.
They seem proactive there. The system has inbuilt APIs, application programming interfaces that connect directly to automation. So as you scale up, maybe moving from manual to conveyors or sorters, the WMS is already set up to talk to them. Plus, they're already integrating AI functions, things like optimizing where inventory gets put away or the best picking paths.
So it's not just buying for today, it's a platform designed to integrate tomorrow's tech without some massive disruptive overhaul.
Precisely. That unified approach, handling complex inventory, 3PL billing, automation links, all in one place. It's just far better than juggling 5 different systems with their own updates and potential breaking points.
Okay, speaking of technical depth implementation, a system this complex can sound, well, daunting. How does Infor make it accessible for teams that maybe don't have a huge IT department sitting there?
They use what the source calls dual approach accessibility, which basically means it's got the technical depth for your engineers, your IT specialists who want to customize things.
Right.
But crucially, it also offers a really strong out-of-the-box solution.
Yeah.
This baseline version has inbuilt APIs, lots of functionality ready to go that operations managers, people who aren't hardcore coders, can still use and configure effectively.
That's key. So the system sophistication kind of adapts. The manager needing a quick volume report doesn't face the same interface complexity as the architect planning a major integration.
Exactly. It makes all that power actually usable across different skill sets. But, this brings up maybe an even more critical partnership question. What happens when things go sideways? When you hit a snag during implementation or later on?
Right. This is where you find out if you bought from a vendor or if you actually have a partner. And the sources. They seem very clear about the support structure Win Solutions provides.
Yeah, they really emphasize a dedicated local team. We're talking account managers, technical folks, support specialists, and they're available, the source specifically says, immediately to jump on roadblocks. In logistics, downtime costs a fortune per hour. So immediate access to experts. That's as valuable as any feature, really.
That human element, that dedicated support, stops operational queries turning into these endless, frustrating bottlenecks. It's like the insurance policy for the software investment.
And this commitment feeds right into future-proofing, too. The system's only truly good if it keeps evolving, right? Especially in warehousing. The source material details a pretty serious ongoing development schedule from Infor.
Yeah, they're not standing still. 2 major releases a year. And a minor release every single month. That kind of cadence, that continuous improvement, that's what keeps the WMS relevant, responsive.
And that rhythm lets them get ahead of the curve. Alex Gardner mentioned a hard pivot toward AI and integrated intelligence within the application.
Yeah.
They're building in optimization tools now. Shows they're trying to anticipate needs, not just play catch-up years later when everyone else is already using the tech.
And this connects right back to that feedback loop we talked about earlier. Win Solutions is feeding them insights from the floor, and Infor is actually listening, using that input to drive specific development.
It creates this really nice synergy. They shared a great example, actually. Win Solutions saw this growing need for better, more flexible, put-away functionality, directing incoming stock to the right place. They fed that back. Infor developed the enhanced feature, and Win Solutions could then immediately use that new piece to solve a really specific, tricky problem for one of their own customers, like almost instantly.
Wow. So that really changes the dynamic. The partnership isn't just implementing what exists, it's actually co-evolving the solution for future problems.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that 20-year relationship, it isn't just inertia. It seems built on shared values, that continuous co-development, this joint commitment to making operations better. It really aims to shift warehouse management from just reacting, putting out fires, to proactively optimizing.
So what's the bottom line here for you listening, maybe thinking about a WMS choice? The wisdom here seems to be that choosing this kind of proven partnership means you're getting a foundation refined by decades of real-world use and constant responsive innovation.
Yeah, the path to real warehouse excellence.
Yeah.
It might not be about finding the absolute perfect system, because let's be honest, no software is ever totally perfect out of the box. It's more about finding the perfect partnership, one that's built for the long haul, that long-term commitment, focusing on the actual users and their real challenges. That seems to be the key ingredient for sustainable growth and truly elevating your operations.
Fantastic. A really insightful deep dive into the true meaning and value of a technology partnership. Thank you for joining us today as we explored how that kind of 2-decade commitment can offer strategic lessons for really any operational field.
Thank you for joining us on the Win Solutions podcast. If today's episode sparked ideas or inspired change, we'd love to hear from you. Visit us at winsolutions.com or follow us on LinkedIn to explore more ways to optimize your operations and stay ahead in this ever-evolving industry. Until next time.